I've said it before and I'll say it again. Self-care is gross. Isn't it more fun to do the exact opposite of that? Drink, smoke, eat all the garbage food, not move your body for days, have negative intruding thoughts, hating yourself. That's more fun, right? These past 2 years have really been an exploration of self-care for myself. During the first wave of the pandemic, I truly, like a lot of people, gave up. Not that I was taking care of myself before, but I definitely had the narrative of, well, it's a fucking pandemic. I don't give a shit anymore. Give me all the food and wine. A side effect of having my life and all of our lives derailed in such an unexpected way. I think the shift to exploring my self-care happened when I was sitting on my couch one day feeling like a trash monster. I was working from home at the time, and so I probably hadn't left my apartment for days. I hated everything about work and the way I felt. I started to go to therapy every week instead of every second week, which was a sure sign that things were not going too well. Then I read a book about food addiction and self-care that just made everything click for me. In May of 2020, I gave myself a deadline, June 1st. I was going to make some small changes June 1st. I was going to change something small. I was going to start. The funny thing is, these small things became big things. Who knew, right? Everyone knew. Everyone was telling me for years that these small things, these baby steps, just make the effort, and they turn into bigger things. I battle the idea of telling people about the details of my journey because it is personal, to be honest. And also, Jesus Christ, it's boring. It's so boring to talk about self-care. Oh, what did I do today? Well, I woke up, I journaled, I did yoga. Ew, fucking gross. I ate 3 mindful, healthy meals, drank plenty of water, barf. I didn't drink or do any drugs. Okay, get the fuck out of here. But to be real and boring for a second, self-care worked. And also loving myself, that worked too. Welcome to House of Stone. Welcome to House of Stone, the podcast where everyone has a story and we get into the nitty gritty of it all. Today, I have my guest, Thompson.
Hey.
Hello,
How's
Tom.
it going?
I have a little bit of an intro that I wrote for you that I'll start with.
So
Thompson is from Edmonton, and he moved here to Montreal during the pandemic to pursue his dreams of stand-up comedy. He blows my mind with his talent, and within the first year of comedy, he made Zoofest. He's also the producer of 2 shows, Funny Juice Club and Sinstravaganza. Please welcome Thompson.
Hey.
Hello. Before we get into it all, tell people where they can find you, your handles, social media.
Oh, God.
I
should have prepared for this because it's like different everywhere. Okay, hold on. I'm pretty sure on Instagram it's Tom_S.I.N.
Okay.
90% sure.
90%.
90% sure because it's something different on Twitter.
Okay.
And it's okay. The thing is, they each
Are
have,
you still on Twitter? Is that platform still happening?
It totally is. I haven't used it in a while.
Is that still alive? Do people engage on that garbage?
Just forget
fire?
I mentioned Twitter because if you look for me on Twitter, you're gonna see a tweet from like a year ago. So don't do that.
Yes. I mean, I remember you and Victoria, one of our comedian friends, were having a race to get 200 followers or something.
Which I won.
Which you won. Which is a really that's good. 200 is good.
The first 200 is the hardest, really.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what they say. That's what everyone says. I think I maybe have like 40 followers on Twitter. I don't know. I have no idea. And it used I even had Twitter before I was a comedian. It was just a place where I just put like stupid thoughts. And no one saw them, which now it still is.
I was going to say, as opposed to your very intelligent thoughts you put as a comedian.
And everyone uses it as such. And I don't think it's that great of a platform to like promote things. But anyways.
Maybe if you have 1 million followers.
Yes. For sure. Or if you have an OnlyFans, it's a way like you. They don't have
They're
much.
chill with porn.
They don't have much like.
So chill.
They're
Like,
so
super,
chill
super
on
chill.
those like guidelines on Twitter. Like I fully saw a woman's vagina the other day on Twitter.
You can see whatever you want there.
Yeah. Fernando's giving a thumbs up on the vagina on Twitter. Anyways, yes. So handles, you find you on Instagram at tom.s. Yeah,
That was the one. You actually screwed it up.
Just rewind the podcast a few seconds.
Tom_S_I_N.
Okay.
And then Facebook. I think if you just search Thompson, you
Just
probably
Thompson.
find it.
Yeah.
Facebook's easy like that.
You also have your photography page
Yes, that is true.
as well.
That is
Tom
Tom
Images. Tom
S images. Yes.
I don't know why I'm doing this. It's fine. Tom is a really good photographer. Really great. Really fun to see you explore.
You're just saying that.
No. It's really fun to see you explore that art form because you're very talented. You're a very talented person.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just see, part of my self-care is just fishing for compliments from people.
Oh yes. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's
Please,
a way to
I don't
do
believe
it.
you. I need you to.
I
hype
don't
me up
believe
some
it.
more.
Explain more. Explain more. Go in detail why I'm wonderful. I see it working.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, fishing for compliments, 'cause, I mean, it fills your
great.
brain with like dopamine.
100%.
It's kind of like when you give yourself like positive affirmation. It's like the same sort of like rush of like,
that's
like
one of my
I
love
am
languages.
worthy. I'm beautiful. Why are you laughing at that?
One's like really like a like a positive affirmation towards yourself. I feel like that's healthy, but like
Yeah.
fishing for compliments,
It's very
that's not
narcissistic
healthy.
and
No,
not
it's
healthy
not.
at all. No.
It's like bullying people into giving you positive affirmations.
It's like, please say the things I need to say, or else I'm gonna like die.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's not the best way to do that. But it does, I think, does the same thing in your brain. That's what I mean. Like the
totally.
dopamine
But
or whatever.
See, that's the thing is it becomes addictive.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
if you make the dopamine by yourself with your own thoughts, it's sustainable. But if you get it from other people, then you're like, well, no one's complimented me in the last hour, and it's hurting me right now.
Yeah.
And this is why we do comedy.
So we met about 2 plus years, a year and a half ago now.
Well, yeah, going on. 2
About a
years.
year and a half ago. So
It
you
feels
came.
like longer.
It feels like, I mean, I don't say this in a bad, it feels like forever. It feels like we've known each other for a very long time. And I felt that way from the moment we met. And that's a huge compliment. Just fishing for compliments. There you go.
believe it.
We keep giving to you. So yeah, like you made your way to Montreal in the winter of 2021.
It was 2020.
2020, you moved here in the winter of 2020.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then I just see you following me, liking my posts or whatever.
We were in like full lockdown here too.
Full
so it's
lockdown.
like-
That was the only way to communicate, right?
it's
And
just
make
like, hello.
and make friends. And I think you responded to an IG story like you do, and you're
I
like,
think it was a thirst trap. It was some kind of
yes,
thirst
it was.
trap.
It was definitely probably
like,
a thirst.
I was
trap.
like, yes.
I did that a lot when I was single.
The blue thing,
The blue thing,
the blue top.
the blue. You know
No,
specifically what I was wearing.
I'm pretty sure it was the red one with the booby window. You know,
Oh,
you know the one
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's a bralette.
Oh,
And I
okay.
am very loose about it being a top too.
We really don't know how to spell slut.
You're lucky the microphone's not on you, Fernando.
You're welcome.
It may have been a thirst trap when I was. But who? Yes.
This is what
How
lockdown
else?
is
How
for.
else are you supposed
Yeah.
to get compliments?
Exactly.
Wow, this is unhealthy. We're
this
just like listing the unhealthy instead of self-care. Just lists the unhealthy habits
Yeah, but this
that
is,
we
this is how
have.
people are going to recognize, and then they're going to be like, oh, there's got to be a better way.
There's got to be a better way. Yeah, absolutely. So you made it here 2020 in the pandemic, and making friends the way we can during a pandemic. So you wanted to be a comedian when you came here. You wanted to try that out. So you made friends online with fellow comedians.
Yeah. And then everyone was online doing podcasts and stuff too. So it was easy to.
Yeah. And also, so your first set was, this blows my mind. Your first set ever was on Zoom. Like
Yes.
the first time you did comedy ever was on Zoom.
Yeah. And although that wasn't, I was supposed to do it one time before that.
Okay.
Except the stream got hijacked by a bunch of like teenagers.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It was one of a fellow comedian did virtual shows, and I think he still does. Rodney Ramsey, Unknown Comedy Club. If I think it's that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's
and right. Yeah. So he did a bunch of virtual shows. I was on a bunch of them. So the first one you just couldn't do it. They just shut down the stream.
Literally, Rodney was in the middle of his hosting set.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, just a bunch of very bad words were being written on the screen, and a bunch of people joined the stream who all had the same name, and they just started just shouting stuff and making fun of everyone, and literally Rodney just had to pull the plug.
Oh my God. Holy crap.
I think I was on the show after that. Like,
were you?
I remember I
it?
did his show once, and I think he told me about that story.
Yeah. I think he mentioned it like almost every time he did. Like after that, he's like, that does happen. That's scary.
It really was nuts.
It must have been fucking scary. Like as a producer, like Rodney must have been like, how do I stop this? Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
Unless I just stop it all.
Exactly. And because there was no way to get rid of them. There was no.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
I mean, I guess it's easier to stop it than a real life show. If someone like came in and started like spewing racial comments
it's easy to stop it, but like you can't, like in real life you can gain control, like you can kick that person out, but like online, like once you're compromised, you're kind of fucked.
Exactly.
Yeah, very fair. Anyway, so you did your first set online.
The first real one,
the first real one online. How was that?
Oh, it was great because afterwards I just got to turn off the camera and go to bed.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't have to talk to anybody.
Yeah. I mean, how did you prepare for your first set?
Oh, I over prepared for my first set.
Everyone does.
I had every single word written down.
Everyone does.
100%,
yeah.
And I just practiced it like a whole bunch of times. So even though I had practiced it a whole bunch, I still wrote down all the things and I had them on cards like, behind the camera.
Yeah.
So I could just like look at it while I was going through.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the thing about virtual shows, and I did that too. I put like my notes like Post-it notes in front of me because you can't see it. I did like a 30-minute like headlining set, and like I was just like, I'm just gonna put this here. I'm gonna put like my everything in front of me. Like it kind of looks chaotic, but it helped a lot for sure.
For 30 minutes,
yeah. And I didn't look at it that much, but like it was such a security blanket that you don't really get.
That was the thing, though, is I felt it becomes easy to like rely on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then it's when I actually want to like have a set that feels it feels more fluid when you just have it like off the top of your head, I find.
Yeah, for sure. How many virtual sets did you do that winter?
I think I did at least like 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's decent. That's good.
Something like that.
That's so good. And your first set ever in person, I was there.
Yes.
I was there. It was at Brass Door Pub down on Crescent Street in Montreal. And open mic Sunday. And you were so relaxed and chill.
I'm shocked that it appeared that way.
I remember like I made a point to go because like in between like seeing you virtually and then like your first actual set, we had become friends. And I was like, I have to be there because it blows my mind that your first set was like online and then and you were so relaxed and chill and you did super well. You did super, super well. And I remember being very angry at that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I get angry at me when I do well or bad. Like, you could have done better.
But in between like me seeing you online and like you doing your first set, we did meet. We started talking online, and then for some reason I was like, I can trust Tom. We can meet in person. Just come to my. It was raining that day. We're gonna meet in the park.
Yeah, we were gonna meet in the park.
We're gonna meet in the park, and I was because you know you got to be careful, and it was raining that day. And you're looking at me weird. It was raining. Fernando was looking at me weird. And it was raining that day. And I was like, just come to my place.
Come over.
Let's not reschedule. Just come over. And we ended up chilling for 5 hours that day. Do you remember that? Yeah. You brought over a pizza.
Yeah, I brought over a pizza, not knowing that you would not eat any of it. And I would have to take on the burden of eating the entire thing myself.
The true burden.
I know.
Yes. That was the thing about like, I mean, for listeners, I don't eat dairy and I don't eat bread, just dietary restrictions. So this very generous friend comes over and is just surprising me with the pizza. And I'm like, sorry, but you enjoy.
Oh no. And you just had to watch me like.
It was, I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It looked delicious.
It was pizza. I assure you, it was not as delicious.
It was not delicious. We were talking about that this afternoon, is that like Fernando and Mike get pizza all the time. Yeah. And every time there's like, there's so many pizza places in the city. Just order good pizza.
But at least like you know what you're going to get.
It's consistency.
Exactly.
It's consistency like McDonald's or something.
It's
like you know what it's gonna taste like.
Yeah.
You know, but if you get to know different and better like pizza places, you know the consistency is there as well. I don't know.
Okay. This is actually a great segue because like the human brain or whatever. It prefers consistency over change, whatever it is. So if you're used to having that, like trying something new is like, I don't wanna.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that is a good segue.
Thank you.
It is a very good segue because the reason why I brought you on this episode, I mean, first off, like the first few episodes that came out of House of Stone. The millions of people listening to it.
They should be thankful.
The billions of listeners, all 50 of them, they really liked the episode of like we talked to Eva about like weight loss and like taking care of yourself. I got a really good response over that and how like honest we were. And you and I have both been through like a self-care journey in the last like few years, and we talk about that a lot. And how it's definitely been a journey and it hasn't been linear at all.
Ongoing, yeah.
So I just wanted to dive more into that topic, like because like what I said, you've been through a journey as well. You've lost some weight in the last few years.
Yeah, a whole bunch.
Yeah, so can you tell us about how you got there, how you started?
How I got there and how I started. Oh, geez. Okay. Well, I think it really started turning around when I got into intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And I started doing that, and it started going really well.
Okay.
Like it just started dropping off, and there's been a couple plateaus in that process, but you know, as I started losing more weight, it started becoming easier to do more walking, and then like once that was easier, that just became an ongoing thing. And especially since I moved to Montreal, like it's so much easier here to get around by transit, and then you end up walking more and then just taking the stairs more. And it was what you were saying, like just those little small things that like the 1% rule, like it all adds up for sure. Yeah. What
made you start initially? Like you said, you were at 300 pounds, but like, was there like a significant moment that happened?
I think really there were a couple starting moments. Like I went through like a rough period around like 2018, and I had started therapy. Yeah, that's
therapy will do it. Therapy will help. Yeah.
That definitely prompted it. And then I had a huge number of crises, which I think we're gonna touch on later.
Okay, a huge number of crises. Is that what you said?
Crises, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, around in 2020, prior to COVID.
Yes.
This was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Which really kind of made me reassess a lot of just my life and things. It was one of the big ones is my best friend died very young.
Yeah.
And so it kind of makes you realize just how short life is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and you want to live it to the fullest, and you want to be happy for sure.
Yeah, and and that speaking of self-care is it makes you grateful for what you have.
Yeah.
And realize that part of that is taking care of what you have, and this.
For sure. That's so nice.
Yeah.
And I mean, you definitely you came to Montreal and all you had was yourself and and so
one bag of luggage, a backpack, and my computer bag.
Yeah. So I think it was so important that you were going through that journey of self-care at that time because so easily it could have gone a negative way.
Oh yeah.
Because you were here, you're away from your friends, your family,
everyone.
Yeah. So what do you do on the daily now to take care of yourself?
Well, I read a lot. I read a lot of self-help books and things like that. Really just trying to work kind of from the baseline of sleeping well, eating well, and exercising.
Yeah.
I feel like that right there is just your bedrock of it. And that's still an ongoing thing. There's still those, temptations to, oh my God. So I was at a wedding this past weekend.
Yeah.
This wedding has ruined me for all weddings.
Why?
Forever.
Because it was so fun?
Because it was so good.
Oh, wow.
And I just mean the amount of food.
Okay.
And they had for dessert, they had just had a Mr. Puffs cart there.
They had a bunch of what there?
Shit.
Just a Mr. Puffs cart. You can just get as many Mr. Puffs as you want.
Was it a Jewish wedding?
Italian.
Italian?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It was fucking wild. And they had so after the ceremony, it was okay, we're just going to have some snacks. You have some snacks. And their snacks were here's an entire table of meat, an entire table of bread, an entire table of cheese, an entire table of sushi, fucking spanica pita, all over. And it was marvelous. And then dinner, which was pretty good.
Oh, that
wasn't dinner. Then we sat down and they were
just snack time.
Yeah, here's steak and lobster.
Steak and lobster.
Steak and fucking lobster, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then at 10 p.m. they're like, okay, here's pizza and a poutine cart and Mr. Puffs and a table full of cakes and a and okay, the whole reason I brought this up is that it's it's so easy to fall into those just wow, I'm just gonna eat all of this pattern.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. We just all of your good healthy choices out the window.
Yeah. Open bar. Jesus.
Oh my God. But I feel you need to, when you're at a wedding like that, it's just okay, let's indulge a bit. Tomorrow's a new day.
That's exactly it.
But what I've learned in my journey is that make tomorrow a new day. Don't let that fuck up a month, 2 months. I used to do the stupid okay, January 1st it's a new me. And then 2 weeks in, have a craving for something, indulge, and then we'll start again February 1st. And then go a few days, and then it was you know what, we'll start again after my birthday because it's February 1st, might as well just be fine until at the end. My birthday's in March.
Your birthday is the new year for you, right? That was yours.
So you have those rationalizations, and then you're in the summer. You're well, I want to have a good summer. Yeah. So I'm gonna just try again next year.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I went years doing that in my life for sure. But I actually indulge or whatever. Have a drink, have several drinks, but just make the next day like, you know, go back to your good habits the next day.
It's so easy to lose them.
It's so easy to lose them.
So you asked me, like, you know, what do I do daily to do stuff? I had past tense, like a daily yoga habit that I've been doing since I got to Montreal. Like I started it and I was so fucking good about it.
Yeah.
And then I think I had COVID and I was sick, and I had like a sore throat. Like I felt sick for like most of June. Yeah. And so I kind of just let it drop. Yeah. Haven't picked it up since.
I know it's really, really, really easy to lose it. And they say like, oh, you can get a good habit in like within 90 days. Yeah. Like I've had habits for 90 days and they went away.
Yeah, they totally did.
Just very easily. Like I get too, like I did yoga like every day, and then I went to Austin in August and have not unrolled my yoga mat since. It's like it just went away, and I was so good at it, and I know how good it makes me feel, and like I bet I will unroll it. If I unroll it tomorrow, I get on that mat and I'll be like, oh my god, yes, like I'm gonna, and then I'll probably start doing it again. But that step of like making that effort to like get to the ground or like play a yoga video, yoga with Adrienne is like my go-to. A shout out. She's very, very good. It'll just, it's very, very hard. It's really easy to lose. But I feel fortunate that I've been with this health journey that I've been on in the last 2+ years now, that like my staple has been like my healthy eating, and like I haven't really gone away from that much, and it just like I know that like even if I feel like I need to slip, or if I slip, like I always go back to it. Go back to it because it served me so well. It makes me feel good. It like I've gotten like good outcome from it. So I feel good about that. It's just the other things that like kind of slip away. For sure. I do journal, so that's good. I still do that.
That's good.
Yeah.
I actually, you mentioned journaling. One thing, were we gonna talk about love languages?
Yeah, we haven't talked about love languages.
Were we going to?
We should. Let's do it.
Because I wanted to bring them up.
Bring it up.
Okay.
Do it. Love. I can talk about love languages all day long.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because like you know, when you told me what the subject of this show was going to be, I had been thinking about, you know, like self-care and what that looks like. Yeah. And I was looking at the love languages, and I realized that, you know, part of self-care is like you can use these on yourself.
Oh, for sure.
Like you don't need someone else to do them.
Yeah.
And quality time. Yeah. That's like meditating, like journaling. Mm-hmm. And that's totally I gotta do more of that. I had a really good writing habit when I moved to Montreal. Okay. You know, nothing else to do. It was much easier then.
Yeah. You got distracted. There's so much. I remember when we came out of lockdown after the winter that you were here, and you know, during lockdown you made all these friends, and then like things opened up again, and you're like, I have all these plans, and you like went full force into like, and you still have like a really like big network of friends here that you've gotten so quickly, which is really great. Yeah. Anyways, back to love languages. You can definitely, you can use them for yourself, I guess. Yeah. Like, I mean, physical touch, yes.
So that was actually one that really, and it's not just jerking off, you pervert.
It's not just jerking off. No. There's like self-soothing.
Yeah. Like, because I was doing that one day, like I noticed myself doing it, and then I was just like, oh shit, this is a love language that I'm doing right now. Yeah. And then I realized that like, you know, I was doing the words of affirmation to myself too. Like, like the way I was talking to myself. Yeah,
buying yourself gifts.
Oh, 100%.
Always nice.
Oh yeah, we all do that.
Fernando, you buy yourself gifts. He rolled his eyes. That's what I'm called. He just like, the Amazon packages come to both we live in the same place.
Yeah, I get packages, but that's it. I don't fucking jerk off to it.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that at all.
I want more packages. I don't give myself shit I like, I don't know. I need to get, I don't know. There's so many things I want to give myself, but like, I need an excuse.
Yes.
The excuse
You don't
is
need an excuse.
self-care.
You need to love yourself.
What I do now is I loan my friends money. I loan my partner money, right? When they ask for money, I'm like, okay, I'll give it to you, but like, don't pay me back. Let it accumulate and then buy me something I want. That's the same
It's
amount.
like your saving account. You're using your friends as like
no, because they feel good because they pay me back, but I also
Yeah.
I feel guilt free because I didn't buy myself the gift. I was okay with giving that money away anyways. So everyone's good.
That's such a twisted way to just buy yourself something.
No, but then my
I
friend
get
also
it.
gets money. My friend also gets money.
Exactly.
You know, my partner
Yeah, I
gets
guess
money.
everyone wins.
It's like it's helping the local economy.
Yeah.
You keep it circulating.
That's very, very, very fair. Oh, that's really funny. That's. I feel like I'm off topic.
I was gonna say, was that all the love languages? I think.
Well, there's words of affirmation.
Yeah.
There's physical touch.
Yeah.
There's quality time.
Yeah.
A gift giving.
Yeah.
There's a fifth one.
Now, what was the fifth one?
Spanish.
Spanish. Spanish is the fifth one. And
Portuguese.
Spanish.
Obviously. It
Pardon?
is the language of love. No, wait, no, that's French.
Words of affirmation.
Shit.
Oh my God, it's gonna bother me.
Oh, I know.
We are going to
hold
figure
on,
this
hold on.
out,
Words of affirmation,
and we're not
quality
gonna.
time. It's always the quality time, physical touch, gift giving, and see. I feel. Oh my God.
Okay.
Acts of service.
Acts of service.
Yeah, that's
Acts
the
of
one.
service. There you go.
Thank you for your
Joining
service.
the
There we
military.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
But no, that's
It's-
another one. Acts of service, like, cleaning up your fucking apartment.
Yes.
That's self-care.
Yeah. Yeah.
You deserve to live in a place that doesn't have garbage on the floor.
Yeah,
And that's how you show yourself, you know what? You're all right.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I've never really thought of it that way. That like all of these,
I had neither.
love languages, like you use on yourself for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. I mean, if I think about it, I definitely do I try to do all of those things to take care of myself.
Yeah.
I definitely exercise. I try to exercise to take care of myself. I definitely exercise out of like a reaction to stress instead of like a proactive.
Yeah.
So like, anyways, I'm not proactive with that.
No.
But what are you laughing at?
It's because I see you run out of the apartment.
Oh, yeah.
I need to go for a walk.
Yes.
Oh, it's a
yeah.
stress. I need to get some.
Yeah,
fucking,
it's a stress response.
need
Just
to go.
like, but I used to be more proactive with it, where like I used to just like do yoga every morning, and then like my stress level wouldn't get to that point where now it's like my stress level is at the point I'm going for a walk.
reacting
But
to
at
it.
least
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't, like I don't have negative habits, and like I used to have negative coping mechanisms for all of my stress, like eating too much, drinking a lot,
drugs, sex.
yes, reckless sex. Yeah, so at least I have that. I feel fortunate that I have that now, for sure.
Reckless sex?
Reckless sex and more positive coping mechanisms.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Words of affirmation. It's okay. It's okay to be a hoe.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you had fun at the wedding this weekend.
It was so much fun.
That's so cool.
It was an absolute blast.
For your friend, and you brought your new girlfriend.
Yes, I did.
Yes, and
was wonderful.
that's cool.
had
I
a
mean,
great
we won't dive too much, and it's a new girlfriend, and we don't want to talk too much.
No, I wouldn't want to scandalize because I know they're going to listen to this.
Okay, I do want to get into like the topic of kink after.
Oh, okay. We can totally do that.
Yes.
We will scandalize people in other ways.
Yes, exactly.
'Cause that's also self-care.
Yes, it is. Okay, let's get into it now. Why
Ooh,
not?
all right, let's
yes.
do it.
Okay. So I want to title this episode "Self-Care and Kink" because when I first met you, I didn't know that I don't even know how to like talk about it. I truly don't. I say this embarrassingly. I'm very vanilla, and like
This is true.
But vanilla, it does as
Vanilla's
well.
the new kink. Come on,
It's
everyone.
the new kink. Okay, vanilla's the new kink. I support
it's
that.
trad kink, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when we first started becoming friends, you like told me about this community that you're a part of, this server, like
Bunch of
online
Montreal perverts, yes.
group or whatever. What?
Montreal perverts, yes.
Yes, perfect. It's all because you have this common, I don't know, thing in common that you're very
Interest.
kinky.
It's just think of it
common
like doing
interest.
puzzles.
Why am I having such a struggle with this?
What's up, grandma?
I don't know. Yeah, I know. Right?
No, it's
They
like
have hobbies.
it's like
what is
listening to
these-
my mom talk about like PlayStations. It's just
Yeah. The little games you like playing.
you know the things you got your game station.
The thing, your friends that like the thing.
Exactly.
I'm such a good podcaster.
Nailing it.
Yeah. So you are part of the kink community here in
Yeah.
Montreal.
Yeah.
How did you get into that? How did you make these friends?
Oh, just like I because it was the same thing with the comedy. It's you know, especially around COVID times, everyone was online, everyone was doing stuff. So there was lots of like community organizing going on. And then, you know, you're fucking bored and you're searching around and you find these different groups, and then you end up going to events. In kink, there's events called munches you can go to, and a munch is an event that it's not a place you go to like try and hook up with people. It's literally like a place for people with similar interests to just hang out and meet each other. And most of the time, you end up talking about board games.
Yeah.
Did I not see you?
Yes,
at a
you
munch?
did. Yes, you
Yeah.
did. Okay, so I was sitting like it was in a we were in a munch in a park.
Yeah.
This was my first munch also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I was like all nervous. I was like meeting a bunch of people for the first time, and all of a sudden, fucking Zach and Van Dad.
I forgot Van Dad
Yeah,
was
Van
there.
Dad was there. Come out of the woods, because we're like on the mountain, right?
Yeah.
And they got a sign there taking Polaroids, and
Yeah.
I was just like, holy shit, what are the odds?
Yeah, I mean, when we were waiting to get into the studio, he's like, I don't know much about Tom. I did see him in a park once with a group of people.
The people had like a very they had a vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It didn't seem like a friend group, but they had a vibe.
Yeah.
Do they have a vibe?
You know what the vibe, the common vibe with most of the people I know in kink is that they're all fucking nerds. Like, they all either play video games or D&D. They just nerd out about sex stuff too. It's just something to geek out over, honestly.
It's
Yeah.
literally just like autistic people whose special interest is sex.
A lot of the times, yes, very often. Like I'd say at least, there's I would guess a higher proportion of people on the spectrum in the kink community, 100%.
100%. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm upset that I never got into. I'm upset I never got into this because I'm such a fucking nerd about all of these things.
100%.
Yeah.
You'd love it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, I was gonna say you still can, but he's in a relationship. But maybe people are in relationships in this community.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, and obviously, like people who are more open about this stuff are also more open about things like being polyamorous,
Yes.
or relationship anarchy,
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah.
what have you.
So you. Okay. There's a lot of things that people want to say.
Relationship anarchy.
Yes, relationship
What
anarchy.
the fuck is that?
You kind of think of it like polyamory, but it's basically okay. Like you understand like the concept of anarchy, right? Where everyone
Yeah,
is
I
like
know
their
that
own
one.
individual person.
Yeah.
Just imagine that, but in the context of relationships, where like every single person is like an independent person, you know, and all the relationships they have are independent of each other, and there is no hierarchy to it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like it's not like, oh, this person's my partner and everyone else I care less about. It's like, no,
what?
Everyone you
all
feel
my
the
friends-
same about. Yes.
Yeah, it is a thing that is. I only learned about this
I'm sorry, I can't.
not too
I
long
mean,
ago.
I've known that about like polyamory is that like there's not a lot of like, oh, this is, I mean, they have like a primary partner, but there's not really.
It can be with polyamory.
can-
You can have like hierarchical where
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, my primary and then like my secondary or whatever.
Yeah.
I got my sub in as well.
Yeah, a lot of that. We're back to kink, yes. But like it's really big in like polyamory and kink. It's consensual. It's negotiated. Like everything is agreed to.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you first started to explore this side of you before you got to Montreal, or
it was before. Like I had known.
I'm again asking a weird way of asking that. I don't know. Okay.
No. Were you ever on Tumblr?
Tumblr.
Do you remember Tumblr?
Oh God, yes.
The tragedy of Tumblr.
It's kind of yes. It was kind of like because it was kind of like Twitter again, where they like you can see a lot of porn.
Oh yeah, tons.
Yes. So like I explored that a little bit for porn, and then like some like artists also were on there, and that was really cool.
There was lots of like kink community on Tumblr, and like especially they were really really good about the amount of like education available.
Yes,
a lot of like community leaders working through that. And that sucked when that got obliterated. But that was where I got exposed to a lot of it.
Okay.
And so I had kind of introduced like some of it into the relationship I was in.
Okay.
But we were monogamous, like, and we were together for like a decade. So I didn't really explore much like within the context of like a community.
Okay.
But yeah, when I got to Montreal, that was when I really like started meeting people, and you know, instead of just in the context of like my relationship, like in community. Yeah.
Okay. So you started to explore it. Did you know what like direction or area you wanted to go into? Like
all of them?
You wanted to explore like a bunch of them?
Yeah, I'm like that with you may have noticed I'm like that with everything. Like I like to try everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I it's the ADD. Like I'm just like, let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there an area that you're really liking right now?
Yeah. Particular, like I'm kind of a daddy dom.
Into what?
So like I tend to take on like a caretaker role.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, daddy dom.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear the daddy part. I heard.
Yeah.
I know what daddy dom is. I'm not that vanilla.
Well, just making sure. You looked at me with a quizzical look.
I just didn't hear the daddy part. It was
Fair.
just like, daddy dom. Like that's what I heard. Okay, no, I know what daddy dom. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if that was a choice on my part or just what I get cast in constantly.
Okay.
Like, and I mean literally cast in. Like when I was in plays in high school and they were like, "You're the dad." I'm like, all right. Sure. Why not?
You're the dad.
Yeah.
I don't know what this says about me, but I was cast as the dog a lot. Or the pet.
You're loyal. You like to pee on things.
You're those people in Pride who wear like those dog face masks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The pet play people. Yeah.
We there in NDG there was this guy in the middle of the pandemic that wore one out in public.
Oh, really?
Instead of like an actual mask, he wore like those dog face, like those leather whatever. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is his
Yeah.
is his time to shine.
It
I
really
guess
is.
like obviously people looked at him strange, but he was just like, I don't care. Like
I'm hard as fuck right now.
yeah.
Say something about
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
The leather.
The pet play people are really fun. I was
really
at,
fun, you
Yeah, I
said?
was at an event at a dungeon once, and there were two people just playing as dogs. And
Okay.
they're just. It's not sexual. They're just dogs.
They're just dogs.
Yeah, you pet them on the head, you scratch them behind the ear,
And
they chase
it's
a ball.
not sexual for them. Like they don't get off.
A
on it?
lot of kink isn't. Like there's
Okay.
some people who literally just do kink for kink.
Okay.
You know, like some people they just want to get whipped. It's kind of like
Yo, I know people like that. Who
Oh,
like,
totally.
Who, for some reason, it like there's like no sexual aspect to it. It just find it comforting.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's almost like, well, there's some people who engage in what's called spiritual BDSM,
oh.
where it's like ritualized. Yeah.
It's just called being a bitch.
But like I've thought about it, and it's really like kink in general for me, and I think other people, whether or not they realize it, is a way to like explore your own like shadow, like to deal, like, you know, like people are always into like taboo things, right?
Okay.
And that's because that's the shit that gets like suppressed in your subconscious. And so again, also this is part of self-care, is like part of like, you know, thinking like self-actualizing is like,
it's healing.
it is. It's becoming aware of and accepting the parts of yourself that you have like suppressed and think are bad. Like that's why people who, you know, are into like degradation or something, like, oh, call me a piece of shit, you know, like that's a space for them to feel the shame that they have like inside them that they've suppressed.
Oh wow.
And in a safe space. It's like therapy, like literally, like just to let those emotions come out, but to know that you have the power. Like that's the thing in kink, is the sub always is really the one who has power, because they can put an end to the scene at any time.
Yeah.
And so they know that they could stop this, and they're choosing to like experience it.
It's so interesting, and it makes a lot of sense. I've never thought of it that way, that it's like a healing, and like you're just like kind of uncovering things that you've suppressed for, and like I'm sure there's this whole like kink journey that you go through, just like self-care journey or like self-love journey that you go through, just like your interest evolve over time, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh no, there's some people like in the community who do some like wild shit. And I'm just like, I don't know if I could ever do that. And I'm like, maybe.
What's the wildest shit you've
like some
heard?
people like you know, do stuff with like needles, like branding. I've seen, not in person, but like pictures of people like, you know what shibari is, like where you like do rope ties and stuff. And you can do suspensions where people are like hanging from the roof, and they do suspensions with like hooks in their skin.
Oh,
I've seen that.
Yeah.
And like that is some like wild shit.
Yeah.
Like, but the thing is, the people who engage in it safely and properly are very, very skilled at what they do.
Yeah.
Like very, very fucking skilled.
Is that kink anymore? That's just a talent.
That's in all honesty though, a lot of like the activities that you do in kink are a talent. Like I think a lot of the like the role play and aspects, that's I took improv classes, you know, like, and that's I had an idea. I'm like, oh, I should just run like a kink-based improv class that learning how to dirty talk, or like
kink-based improv, the only place you actually can say no.
Love that.
Or like, you know, oh fuck, I've seen like people with like floggers in each hand who are just like and or even just doing shibari. Like I've done rope stuff, and it's like it's a real skill. Like it's
I remember once I was at your place and you were just like, I learned this new knot or whatever, and you were like, you showed it to me. I was like, that's really cool, Tom. I'll never learn like use this. I don't know, maybe. I mean, that's so interesting. I like the connection between self-care and that's really interesting.
I really think it is. And you know me, like I'm really into like meditation and things like that. And I think a lot of things in kink can be very meditative. Like even like when impact play, when you're getting like hit by something, like it's really bringing you like into present moment awareness and the sensations in your body, which is what meditation is for.
Do you get to like explore your creative mind?
100%.
Yeah, yes. Right?
200%.
Yeah, like people have all like role play and stuff like that, for sure. I mean, you're a very creative person, so I kind of see like why you kind of gravitated towards that. I mean, I know you as a comedian, as that type of like creative.
None of my comedy is perverted at all.
Oh, it should be.
That was sarcasm. Literally, my first set, I think like the entire thing was about me jerking off.
That's true. That's true. That's a good joke.
That's pretty vanilla for stand-up though.
Yeah, that is true. That is a good point.
Yeah.
It was just, write about what you know, and it was pandemic, so all I was doing was jerking off.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Speaking about comedy, you've been at it for a bit. What inspires your comedy?
Oh,
Jerking
Oh
off.
God, yeah, I guess so. Honestly, just whatever I got going on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's been the answer most people have given, for sure. It's just like my life.
I think it's just unless it's relatable, it's not, you know, like, I don't know. But then again, some things that are totally absurd. Honestly, it depends on the day.
Yeah.
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 It depends.
Yeah.
Depends how
Sometimes
much weed
you
I've been
just feel
smoking.
like being absurd or like dramatic, and like that. There's an interesting joke that comes out of that, for sure.
It just like comes. Yeah, it just comes to me. That's the. I'm really bad at actually sitting down and trying to write things.
I think a lot of people are. Like, I was at a family reunion this weekend. Oh God, I was at a family. No, it was fine. It was like, it was good. It's just people did ask me about comedy, and they're like, "Oh, do you like? How often do you write? Do you write like all day long?" And I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I don't like things. I just live my life, and then like I'll jot things down, and then like that maybe will turn into something, or maybe be nothing. I might live in my notes app forever.
Yeah. I got a lot of that.
Yeah, people are very intrigued by like the process and like what inspires us, because I think it's very like comedy is very unique, and like common people, the common folk don't really know how we do it. No. So yeah, that's why I like asking that question, because like I literally get the same thing. It's just like just my life, just
whatever. Yeah, exactly. Whatever I happen to be doing that day.
Yeah,
whatever tickles me.
Yeah, exactly. You should write more jokes about kink, I think. Combine everything.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
What I realized before I started doing stand up was that like I was already doing comedy every day to whoever would listen.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just like, why don't I just put this together?
Yeah.
And stop harassing the people at Subway.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, I was at a family reunion, like I said, this weekend, and it's just like, it was very obvious. Like, oh, like there's jokesters in the family. Yeah. And I just used that like to my benefit. Yeah. Like, or I just propelled that in my career. Just like we're a very sarcastic bunch, and then there's different dynamics, there's different people, but there's a handful of us that are very sarcastic and funny, and I get my sense of humor from them for sure. Like my mom isn't that funny, but she has time. She knows the comedic timing. Yeah. She's like, oh yeah, like she'll have a comment or stick in some sarcastic thing. So like, yeah, like I think I get my comedic timing from her for sure. Definitely not from my dad. That person's a dud. No, I'm kidding.
He's got the money.
Yeah, I hope the microphone didn't pick that up. Fine. It probably did.
It definitely did. I can hear it.
Yeah. Before you came to Montreal, were you always a creative? Like, were you like as a kid? Did you write? Were you part of plays?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lots of that. I did lots of drama in high school. Mm-hmm. We put on our so in my high school they would do like a production every fall. Like the drama teacher would put together, and then in the spring the students could do one. And so I had done a couple of those, and then when I was in, I guess it's different in Montreal, but grade 12, it's the last one. So that's
like our Cégep or whatever. Exactly. Cégep is high school. I'm sorry, Montreal. Cégep is high school, basically. It's just a more expensive version of high school.
It's actually cheaper.
Pardon?
It was cheaper than my high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, you went to I didn't pay
I went
for
to public
anything
school.
in high school. You went to a private
public school.
You went to public and you still paid?
Well, it was like $60 or whatever. Like a semester.
I mean, Cégep was more than $60.
It was like $200, but like considering it's just like whoa.
Yeah,
it felt cheaper.
Is it still that cheap? Shit, that's nothing.
Yeah. So you were part in plays and in grade 12.
And in grade 12, we made our own. Like me and a couple friends, we wrote and directed. And this is just like classic over ambitious me. But like every other year, it was like, oh, they did like a short 1-act play, and we're like, no, we're going all out.
Yes.
We had a 2-act structure. We had sets that we built. Fucking the whole shebang. It was like Twisted Fairy Tales that we did, like Roald Dahl. We adapted like Roald Dahl stories.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. And then I did some other stuff. And in uni, well, my degree's in communications, and I did like lots of creative writing in that too.
Okay.
And drama classes.
Yeah.
And yeah. No,
Okay.
I'd say
in your adult life, did you have a creative outlet?
No,
like
not well, I do music too.
Okay.
Just not consistently enough.
So it was really only when you got here that you pursued like arts, like as like
to like present it to other people. Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so good.
This is again getting back to my best friend dying.
Yeah,
it's like well, I may as well do something I like.
Yeah, you know? For sure. Well, we have to wrap up soon, but we'll get into the last question, which I think is related to what you were just saying, is what is the hardest thing you've ever been through?
Oh yeah. That was like, oh God. So just like prior to COVID, like end of 2019, my marriage ended.
Yeah.
So that was really hard.
Yeah.
And then like 2 months later, my best friend, who was my cousin, who was like the best man at my wedding, died very suddenly.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened. And it was just like
one after the other. And it was just absolutely devastating. And I had a lot of time to just sit and think about it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
What did you...
World of Warcraft had a double experience event going on. so you know, I smoked a lot of weed and checked out a lot for a little while. That was very handy. But then at some point, you know, I just, you know, realized I needed to take control of my life and get out of a lot of the, you know, like. You get habits. We're talking about habits, and I feel like it's easier to change habits if you just blow up your entire life. First.
It's true. Just burn it to the ground.
Like, and the thing is, I had no reason to stay in Edmonton.
Yeah.
I did. Like, my family's there, sure.
That's no reason to stay anywhere.
Yeah, right? That's just what I'm saying. Like, no. I'm not. Okay, sorry, Mom. I'm not going to base my life around where you live.
You shouldn't.
Exactly.
Yeah. Although she probably would disagree, but like
100% she would.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
but like deep down, she wants you to be happy, and this is what makes you happy.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I wanted a fresh start. I wanted to try different things, and so that really led me through that.
Okay, great. Well, I'm so glad you're here.
Well, thank you.
I think I hate the expression like everything happens for a reason, but like those hard things happen, and then you decided to like kickstart your life, and good things have happened.
I could have just started doing meth.
Yes, for sure. Yes. That would have been a choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you could have definitely. Then my next question that I end with is, what is the thing in your life that you're most passionate about?
This question I was dreading. But really, as we were talking about this, I realized it is like self-improvement, like working on stuff, like learning to take care of myself in the best way possible. I think I really am passionate about that.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, every time we get together, you always tell me about like whatever book you're reading that like was very informative, and what you're doing to like help yourself. And in just a year that we've known each other, year plus, like you and I have both like changed tremendously.
I'd say so.
And it's a good thing, and we've grown so much, and like where we were like a year and a half ago till now, like so much good things have happened, nuts. And like making ourselves a priority and taking care of ourselves really is what leads to these good things, 100%. These positive things, our relationship, our, doing like our career, just having success in general. You need to take care of yourself first.
100%.
Yeah.
Because no one else is gonna.
No one else is gonna. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
You're a delight as always. I love you so much.
Love you too.
Thank you for listening. Thank you to our funders, our sponsors, Pantelis Studio, Zach Kick on the ones and twos, Fernando, our social media manager. Like, subscribe, follow. I have a Patreon. Go subscribe to that. And thank you so much. Thank you.